All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man, Jay Will. So this is about 72 hours with the Vivo Nex dual screen display. So the first thing I want to talk about is the battery, not the dual screen. So some people feel like the battery life is going to be pretty bad on here because this phone has two screens. When in all actuality, you're not using both screens at the same time. So I don't know why a person would think the battery would be bad. It has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery inside, and it's actually really, really good. You can probably get between 5 to 7 hours of screen on time with moderate use or so, and it'll perform just like any other smartphone out there with a 3,500 milliamp hour battery life. This has a Snapdragon 845, pretty much. You're going to get between 5 and 7, hopefully. It depends on your usage, but I'm getting between 5 and 7, and that's definitely really good. It's better than I thought it was going to be for some reason. So let's talk about these screens. What will be the purpose of having these two screens? Some of you guys said in the unboxing video, I don't understand why a phone would have two screens. Well, I think those people that might have said that are not following technology at all, because the reason you would want two screens and the reason they made this design is so you don't have a cutout for the camera on the top. If you notice, the screen has a full display on that side, and then this side houses everything. It's got the single set of cameras, which is at 12 megapixel, 2 megapixel, and time of flight, and then you got all the proximity sensors and everything. The laser, everything's there to make this. This little area right here is actually for the time of flight camera, and I'll get to that later. But having the two screens that's the reason. This does have an LED lights ring around here, and it also has two LEDs on either side of that, and also that LED over there. So filming with this phone, which is one of the big highlights for me, is absolutely just fantastic. I've actually done about 5 videos, maybe even more than that, with this phone. I can definitely use this phone for YouTube, hands down, because there's only one set of cameras and using the main set of cameras, which are actually really, really good. You've got that 12 megapixel with a 1.8 aperture. Then you also have that 2 megapixel with the 1.8 aperture. And then you've got, and the 2 megapixels just for the depth sensor, but you also have a 4-axis OIS. So some of you guys were saying that it doesn't have optical image stabilization. I don't know where you guys got that from, but this phone definitely does have stabilization, just not at 4K. So it does have dual pixel autofocus as well. So if you're filming at 1080p with this thing, you should get some great footage. Now the time of flight camera actually has a 1.3 aperture. Really nice, man. It records in 4K. It also does 4K at 30 frames per second, and it also does 1080p at, let's flip it around here. It does 1080p at 60 frames per second. Let's go to video. So you got 1080p at 60 frames per second and 720p, 60 frames per second. And then you can do auto frame rate at 24 to 30. And it also does 4K at 24 frames to 30 frames on auto. So if you switch it to 1080p, it's going to drop back down to 720p. And then it lets you know you can't do it. It does have the high efficiency mode. So if you wanted to store, compress the files that are in 4K, you'll be good to go. So the camera does have all the functionality of the latest smartphones with the portrait mode, night shot, all these different things are there. You've got AI beauty. There's panorama, night, professional. It's just a whole bunch going on here. And the AI beauty, pretty much, you can trim and make a person look how you want them to look. Really, you can do their head, their forehead, their shoulders, their everything. You can do hips. You can make yourself look as fake as you want to be with this phone. And that is the first time. And it works real time. And that's what that time of flight camera is used for. That's what it's used for real time adjusting of your body and things like that. So the cameras on this thing, nonetheless, listen, these are some fantastic cameras. And a lot of you guys were surprised if you're going to do vlogs, the microphones and everything on this phone are great, man. I mean, it is really, really good. And it's got that noise canceling microphone up there and the main microphone there. And then I'm not sure if I see a microphone back here or not, and I don't know if they have any more in the top speakers up there, anything in the bezels, but I got to tell you, the cameras on this thing will impress you. If they don't impress you, something's wrong. You don't want a great camera. This camera is just absolutely fantastic. And like I said before, having this dual screen setup. Now, here's the great part. On this side of the phone, you can do facial recognition. So if I turn it off, and turn it back on, you see how fast that facial recognition is? It's so fast. It's unreal, man. So facial recognition on this side, and then you've got a fingerprint reader on this side. And you can also do the fingerprint reader on both sides. So that's pretty good. So cameras on this thing far exceeded my expectation. And it's unfortunate that, you know, these phones like this are not made for the US, but I'm willing to buy them and test them out and try them out because I really like to try different things. So the cameras on here, you're always using the main camera setup. So if you want to do selfie videos or take good selfies, you will always have the best photo. And with this, you can make yourself look as fake as you want to be, or you can keep it 100 and turn the beauty modes off. Now, audio, it does have a 32-bit audio in here, and I tried it with the headphones and everything, and it actually sounds really, really strong. It's good. The noise canceling microphone works really good too. Bluetooth 5.0, dual band Wi-Fi. This one's all set, man. You've got the USB Type-C 2.0, and it's obviously USB on the go. You've got fast charging with a 22.5 watt charger inside. Again, in-screen fingerprint reader, facial recognition. This one's loaded up pretty good, man. So the performance on here, this actually has 10 gigs of RAM inside, and it does have the Snapdragon 845. And I've found that things just open up as fast as I want them to open up. They load really, really fast. No problems with anything. It has a dual app also, so you can use two applications for the same thing. Let me see here. So I've got one Instagram right there for Mr. J. Williams, and my other one for my cars is over here. And you can see how fast these load up. This is just a really good look, man. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. The applications flow through really well, no problems at all. It's just there. I like it. The 10 gigs of RAM helps. And if you see here, let's go into the storage and RAM here. You're going to see how much is actually available while I'm using it here. So if I go into it, I've got 6.46 gigs available. And so I can clean it up right now, clear up some apps. You're always going to have a lot of RAM available. Look at that. I've got almost 8 gigs of RAM free to myself. Most phones don't have 8 gigs of RAM. 128 gigs of storage on here. It's a hot, you don't have to worry about RAM or storage. You're going to do very well with this, man. So again, performance and everything on here has been up to par, man. It has just been great. I don't have a complaint at all. I did some mild gaming, nothing fancy, but I'm pretty sure gaming on here is going to be really, really good. But overall, man, I want to give you a 72-hour follow-up, man. This has been fantastic, man. And again, my model is it says it's the global model, but it doesn't have all the LTE bands. But I do stand corrected. This will work on AT&T and Cricket with all the LTE bands. You should be able to get LTE with AT&T and Cricket with this, but with T-Mobile, you don't. T-Mobile is my primary carrier, and that's why I always spoke of them first. But you will be able to get AT&T and Cricket with this model right here. So the link's down in the description. If you want to go ahead and purchase, you should be fine. But with T-Mobile, you'll need to buy a different model which says global. But I don't know if there's actually any official global models because all the websites are pretty much putting it out there differently. But I can tell you that the bands for this will work for AT&T and Cricket, T-Mobile, Cricket LTE. So 72 hours, man. It's been pretty hot, man. The bumper, I actually have not been using it. The bumper is nice. It's a nice free edition they put. Well, it's not free because you're paying for it. I didn't notice the little Nex logo on the side here until after I started checking it out. But you see on this side, you can use the fingerprint reader too. You just don't want to be looking. You don't want to be looking. Oh, it's asking me for my face now. But you don't want to be looking at the phone once you put it on that side because it's going to be really fast to unlock. But there you have it, man. 72 hours. I think it's pretty hot, man. I think this is a win. If it were to come to US and have all the LTE bands, or if I can find a model with all the LTE bands, maybe I'll buy another one just to get the full-fledged of it. I haven't had any crashes or anything like that. This is running Android Pie with their Fun OS operating system. As you can see, I'm still running it. I don't mind it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's really solid, man. So it's your man Jay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this phone, man. And hopefully I'll answer some of the questions that you guys had about it. You know, why does it have 2 screens? Well, duh. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's your man Jay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.